showing up on my channel.
I like to see it.
Oh, you see it, do you?
Yeah. It
Here
showed
we
up on my
go.
sub list already.
Yeah, it's up on my channel too now. Okay, let's go lob up a Tumblr ad. Find an appropriate GIF. Add some tags. Okay, that's up. Let's roll.
Oh god. Okay. I'm basting fabric to bits of paper for my quilt.
Where are we meant to go? Halloween Town.
Fuck knows.
I know, it's Halloween Town. Santa told me.
Prepare to scream!
Jack, why do you feel the need to dance with a 16-year-old boy?
Here's full of joie de vivre. Joie de vivre. Joy vev.
Joy de vivre.
Joy vev.
No, this bloody graveyard.
What's wrong with this
I know, it's a
graveyard?
different place.
This is a fine graveyard.
So I just spent a lot of time in a shitty graveyard in 355 over 2 days. Hate that game.
How upset would you be if it turned out the final boss of this trip to Halloween Town was in fact the Leechgrave?
Do you remember that time on, Never Mind the Buzzcocks, where that guy who was in that indie band that was really popular at the time was mocked for his relationship with a Paris Hilton lookalike that he met on Celebrity Big Brother? Basically, I'd do the same thing, and you'd have to get a member of the audience to stand in for me. And do some pretty good jokes. That guy was pretty good.
Wait, was that Dappy from N-Dubs?
No, that's a different story. That was about,
because he too was on Celebrity Big Brother.
No. He was... That was about, the sexual actions. They weren't mocking his girlfriend. No, it's a rock guy, white guy. He had straight hair, and there was more of it than Daffy.
I see.
Sally was right. We've got to get the presents. Prepare to scream.
We're back here because this is a magical place, and also we didn't finish it. Oh no, we did leave. It's just we left halfway through this storyline, so we had to return. But in our hearts, because it was boring.
Oh right, yeah.
Speaking of, if you want to join the party chat, just say, and I will send you an invite. Gluey.
Okay, I am now prepared to field all Homity Pie related questions. The question I am anticipating being, the fuck is Homity Pie when it's at home? Yeah, that's what I had for dinner. Homity Pie. I'm not sure it technically counts as a pie. It's open, so maybe it's a tart, but it's called Homity Pie. It's so nice. It's essentially cheese and potato pie. With onion and ends. You just put whatever the fuck you want in there, to be honest. As long as it's mostly cheese potato. Maybe it has an egg in it? I don't know, I wrote a blog post about this a while ago. I want to look for it.
Speaking of Homity Pie, script writing for speculative Fate Zero Abridged is going well. I'm nearly done with the first episode, which at the moment looks like it'll only come in at about 15 minutes. Which for a 45-minute first episode isn't bad, but it's like condensing it by a third. By 2/3. It's a third of its original length. Then I will just need to find voice actors for it.
Gosh, where are you going to find somebody with a studio level microphone at such short notice?
Indeed. I'll probably do the rounds of various friends who I know of Mike's and be like, hey, lend me your mics, by which I mean your voices, in various roles, and then for whichever parts remain, I'll go to abridged forums, where there are usually people looking to take up roles and things, and they're like, "Hey guys, want to play some roles in?" Okay, apparently your link was retracted, even though you're a mod
I
and should be able
retracted
to. Oh, okay.
I did it on
But
purpose,
why?
bruh. Ah,
That's
I was
why.
looking. No, that's not the one.
Also, I wasn't paying attention to what Santa said, so I don't know where we need to go.
Oh, joy. No, it was the wrong link. It's the right link. When did I write that? Jesus Christ, that post is like 5 years old. Might have been the period where I was actually writing my blog.
Oh god. It's a mini game.
Listen, 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 listen.
This is Danganronpa all over again.
I don't recall you ever shooting toys at boxes in Danganronpa.
There is a lot of shooting in Danganronpa. Speaking of, I recorded the first 2 parts of Danganronpa V3. They've really outdone themselves on the characters this time around. Characters are very good.
I mean, they're all crims, they're all inherently more interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll take care of the rest.
Although at this point in the prologue, we've only found out what one of their crimes are.
Did you finish making the presents?
Do they remember their crimes?
It's not clear. One of them definitely does.
Oh, I know a good spot. Whenever you're ready, just say the word.
I'm back.
I'm looking forward to watching yesterday's Danganronpa Another.
Yes, which, I mean, that part is the size of a moderate TV movie.
This plaza should work well.
Also,
for your
yeah,
plan.
thanks. It's a nice pie. It's really good autumn-winter
What
fare.
is your plan?
I've got it all.
I recommend
figured out.
making one sometime. It's
You
worth it.
do.
Of course. And I also have a wonderful idea. If we catch the thief for you, I would be
Jack's
honored
planning to
deliver
bollocks
the
things up just like he always does.
On that note, we'll be going.
What are you doing? Let me go!
Stop hitting!
It's not me, Donald.
Patience, friends.
Where did he get the skeletal reindeers from?
The Doctor creates them.
George, was that you?
Oh yeah.
We had this discussion first time we came to Halloween Town.
It feels so long ago now.
So many years ago. We spent so much time fighting Demeks.
Also, the Halloween Town sections just feel interminably long.
When we were back fighting Demeks on this stream, there was still a Democrat in government. Specifically Clinton.
Huh? Dr. Finkelstein's experiment did it.
No. No. That's not true.
Prepare to scream.
Which Clinton? There's
Uh,
like 3 of
Bill.
them.
Uh,
Yet the game's not that old.
and yet we have been streaming it for that long.
I don't even think the PS1 was out in 1998.
Right.
No, wait, 2000. Maybe.
Why are we not doing any damage to this fucking thing?
Because life is cruel.
Donald, heal me.
No, I'm still not sure what the fuck the point of Life is Strange was.
Thank you, Donald.
What is this thing?
Dr. Finkelstein's experiment.
Ah. When will the government put a stop to his sinful hand?
I don't know.
You need an ethics committee, Halloween Town. I remember RPing years ago with someone, and we were doing Kingdom Hearts arcs, and we actually included a High School Musical world. Because why the fuck not? Am I right?
You is right.
I was just thinking that because there was this Disney Channel original movie called, I think there were like 3 of them called Halloween Town. I don't forget how much that would fuck with Sora's head if there was like another Halloween Town. It was totally different from this one. There's one thing I remember from those movies. It's that the main character's mum was dating a guy who was actually a golem made out of frogs. That was strange. That was really strange.
Donald, I beg of you, heal me.
At times like this, I wish I could do a halfway decent Donald Duck impression. I have a line there, but it needs the impression to work. It was true healing comes from within, but I can't do a decent Donald Duck impression. So no Jake for you, my child.
My heart is full of sorrow at this.
No, it isn't. Don't lie. Don't patronise me.
Shit.
How the fuck did this robot thing get through the hole in that tree? God, now I'm starting to think about the cosmology of this universe and it's starting to confuse me.
Don't do it, though.
It's just, but how does Sandy Claus get to the real world to distribute the presents if he needs a tree to get to Halloween Town? And if he's in the real world, then how did Jack get the skelly deers to into the real world so he could distribute his terrifying presents? It's an old roll. Roll. I just can't remember what thread comes on. Hobbit? Maybe?
Maybe. I don't remember what thread
It's
comes
spool.
from it either.
It's spool.
That's definitely one theory.
It's also the correct theory. Preston who walked off Buzzcocks because they were mocking his girlfriend.
Ah, Preston. Yeah, actually, no, I remember him.
It was 10 years ago, apparently.
They're gonna die. Because we got anti-formed. I do not like this boss.
I was his girlfriend, it was his wife they were talking about.
Oh. His wife is also someone famous, isn't she?
Yeah, she was a Paris Hilton impersonator who's on Celebrity Big Brother.
Ah. I thought she was like more famous for that, but
She got more famous after. Her name's Chantal.
yeah. Sounds familiar.
I don't know, this article's just like, oh, Preston's basic. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, just maybe. Simon Anstell shouldn't have been talking shit about the guy's wife. You don't do that, you know?
Yeah.
Don't even remember what song. I don't even remember what band he was in. So long.
It was one of those very generic but also very British boy bands.
Are you sure it was a boy band? I thought it was like one of those 2004 style indie rock bands. You know, like the don't tell me, you don't even know what I'm thinking of. Like Razorlight or something. Hang on. This is gonna bother me.
Kingdom Hearts, come for the hack and slash action, stay for this one DOS.
And Taz talking about something that happened 10 years ago on never mind the Buzzcocks. If you like low poly games, Overgrown Toenail, you should totally check out The Good Life. It's Rory's big thing. Oh, The Ordinary Boys. That band did not ring a bell.
No, they ring a bell for me.
Not for me. And that's weird because I'm older than you. I am not remembering any of these fucking songs. I can't even check them out because the way we record means I can't listen to anything whilst the stream's going on.
They weren't
Unless
that
I open
good.
up YouTube on my PS4. So it's really not worth it, is it? Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I meant like these generic indie bands from like, you remember I said for like 2004? Well, that's the year they were formed.
Yeah. It's true, they are the ultimate generic indie band.
They're so generic, you thought they were a boy band, which to be honest, that's what some of those indie bands feel like, isn't it? I mean, say what you like about bands like One Direction, at least they're honest. Although I wouldn't really call them bands, I call those groups. Well, I call them boy bands, but mostly just because it alliterates. But when I'm not using the term boy band, I just use the term group. But it does not imply instruments.
Donald, heal me. Thank you.
up this low poly stuff here, though. Overgrown Toenail. This isn't a low poly game.
It's a frustrating game, though.
Well, he's not wrong there. Maybe Overgrown Toenail is saying that if they'd made it a low poly game, they could have concentrated on making the gameplay any decent, or possibly getting a halfway competent writer in. I go, oh, burn, but this is just my standard attitude towards Nomura.
Okay, when we die this time, remind me to, like, check Donald's abilities and so on.
Just to make sure you didn't accidentally turn something off.
Yeah. Maybe I can get it so he only heals or something.
I think you tried that, and no, you have to have something else on him.
Yeah.
Do you remember the days of Mark Lamar on Nevermind Buzzcocks?
I do.
I remember when I was very young, I found him very, very funny, but like, I'm not sure whether it's the older I got, the more I realised how mean he was being, or if he just got very cruel by the end. I'm inclined to think he actually just got very cruel by the end.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Because he'd always had a bit of a harsh streak to him, that was like the cornerstone of his comedy, but it just got unbearable. You know, when people say, oh, millennials can't take a joke or whatever, I'm inclined to, like, I kind of want to make a video about how cruel comedy can work and how when it doesn't, and use him as an example of when it both does and doesn't work. Because, yeah, while a lot of the times people say, oh, millennials can't take a joke, it's because the joke is just bigoted in some way. Like, there's other times where it's said, and you're just kind of sitting there going, that wasn't a joke. That was an insult that you expected me to laugh at.
Yeah, when people say, oh, so-and-so can't take a joke, what they really mean is, oh, so-and-so just didn't let me insult them. Can't you even take a joke?
Yeah, it's like that roasting thing Americans do.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, that's just people being needlessly cruel.
Mark Lamar is mean, Chloe. He was the presenter of Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Yeah, I think he got kicked out because he was getting too mean. It just stopped being funny and people were complaining. And he'd been like the host for a really long time. Like, I want to say at least a decade, but it might not have been that long. Looks a bit greasy though. Hang on, I'll look at a picture in a second. Maybe I'll see if I can find a clip for you. It's Rod Gilbert who's doing it now, isn't it?
Maybe it's been a while.
Yeah, it was Simon Amstell. Then they went to the Have I Got News for You model, and that happened for a while. And then Rod Gilbert became like the proper host. Oh, have you looked up Mark Lamar? It's been a while since he was on. I don't know what he does these days. I'm not even sure he's still alive. Oh, do you remember that time when Simon Amstell was hosting and Stephen Fry was on, and Simon Amstell was just being the biggest suck-up in the universe?
Yeah, I do remember
Kind
that.
of simultaneously cute and pathetic. I mean, it was cute when he was calling him a national treasure because, yeah, but at the same time, Jesus Christ, Simon, just ask him out. I don't watch Buzzcocks anymore. I haven't watched it in years. I think the thing is, like, it's a music heads program, and I'm not into music. I never really was, and to be brutally honest, in my opinion, being really into music, that's a teenager thing. I mean, yeah, I know there are adults that do it, but like, for me, that's something mostly teenagers do.
We're near the end. I'm hoping that today's part will be the final part of this stream, but...
And now you've said that, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, like a boss that just won't give up.
No, I was thinking more like my PS4 is gonna go funny, or I'm gonna inexplicably get plastered, or... Do you remember the final episodes?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call you getting plastered in that one inexplicable.
Well, I could get inexplicably plastered now because I'm not actively drunk. Although there is a bottle of whiskey right there. It's never too late. I'm joking, we're not really gonna.
Yeah, obviously.
Obs.
Okay, I've unequipped all of Donald's abilities except heal, so he should become what is colloquially known as a heal slot now. And he still doesn't seem to be healing me that much, actually. Oh, he's been knocked out. Okay. I've also upped Zora's defense and made it so his drive gauge refills a bit quicker.
Oh hey, there's a whole bunch of Nevermind the Buzzcocks episodes on YouTube. It's actually really awkward because there's a part of me that's like, I really don't want to link to something like a clip just in case it's something really bad. So I was just thinking, do I have my Bluetooth headphones up here? Because if I do, I could scope out this video. But it's him bashing on Angels by Robbie Williams, so that's probably going to be funny. Like, I have faith that that's going to be funny. There you go. Ah, never mind what's going on. 'Cause I always think about it like in the same way that I think about Have I Got News for You or oh, what was the sports one? They think it's all over.
Yeah.
Ah, it doesn't look like it's on anymore.
Well, I think it's all over.
I think that stopped years ago. No, never mind the Buzzcocks.
Huh.
Ended in 2015.
Okay, we've finally beaten the experiment. It's taken us 6 hours.
Yeah, he was the host for about 10 years. Not from off.
We did it! The mystery is solved.
Then it was guests for a series. Then it was Simon Amstel for like
Naturally.
three,
Just can't figure out
four
why the doctor's
more
experiments
guests,
would
and
go
then
around
Rod Gilbert only
stealing
managed to do
Christmas
one.
His experiment.
That's bad.
It was a moving
Phil Jupiter
puppet
was on
made
it
by
throughout the
Dr.
entire thing.
Finkelstein.
Huh.
The doctor has made a moving puppet. I see. He is always tinkering with things. Now listen, Jack. I'd like to
Might
thank
watch some of
you,
that.
and
Never mind
while
the
delivering
Buzzcocks.
presents
Later.
is something only I
Ah,
can do,
right.
I can
See,
give you
this is
an
the thing. I
idea
can't
of
really.
what it's like.
I can't find them without listening to them. Because I don't remember off the top of my head any particular incidents. It just, by the last series he was in, it just got, like the entire thing was just totally intolerable. There's one thing I really miss about Never Mind the Buzzcocks, and I think it's all over being gone, is that I don't think they do that big panel show mashup they used to do for Red Nose Day anymore.
No, they don't.
I think it was called They Think I've Got Buzzcocks All Over.
In other words, my experiment was an overwhelming success.
Santa Claus thinks maybe it left because it was trying to find a heart.
That's quite possible. Unlike my Sally, it wasn't equipped with a heart.
But if it wanted a heart, why was it going around stealing all those Christmas presents?
Maybe because
Oh, actually,
presents are a way to
that's
give
making me
your
think.
hearts to someone
I know we have at least one fauna watching. Why do you think that
put it that
sports-related
way,
quiz
I feel
show
sort
was
of bad
called
for
They
it.
Think It's All Over? And I'm just kind of interested to know if foreigners know about this. Clue? It's not like we haven't been banging on about it for the last 50 fucking years.
What a nice present.
I don't understand. There's no box. No ribbon tied in a bow.
Jack, it's not about the box or the ribbons. It's about what's inside the box.
No, Sora. What really counts, what's really special, is the act of giving the gift. To wish deep in your heart to make someone else happy.
Right.
I know it wasn't They Think I've Got
Of
Buzzcocks
course.
All Over, it's
Thank
Have I
you,
Got
Sally.
Buzzcocks
You're
All Over, that's what it was
absolutely
called.
Wait. What's this?
Ah, I missed that, that
I
was
feel
fun.
so strange. So very happy.
Jack, that must be Sally's present.
All we've got
Really?
these days is a question of
This wonderful
sport, which can be
feeling?
quite funny.
Oh, Sally. You've given me the nicest present in the world, and I've nothing to give you in return. What would you like? Just name it. Absolutely anything.
Wait, hang on. When you say popularity, do you mean that's why,
The
that's what
nicest
you think
present I
They
could
Think It's All
ever
Over is
ask
about?
for,
Like, that's why it's
Jack.
called that?
Is just to
Because
be
I
with you.
really want to know.
You don't even have to ask for that.
Because it's called that for the most pathetically stupid reason.
Maybe I never gave her a real present
Okay, there's no way in hell you can pick her up.
I don't know.
You're
He is meant to
literally
be
a
a very,
bag of bones.
I know. That's what made
he
her
is meant
so
to be a very
happy
strong
inside.
skeleton. He has drank much milk.
My heart.
You bet. Diamond's not solid.
How?
Well, as long as she can be with you, what else does she need?
Okay, so the reason it was called They Think It's All Over is because that's the famous line from the... Like, you're casting yourself as Jack Skellington? The fuck, Sora? The reason it was called They Think It's All Over is because of that famous soundbite from the 1966 World Cup final, where it was a draw, and one of the commentators was all like, "Oh, they think it's all over," and then the goal scored, and then he's like, "It is now." So that's why it's called that, because we will never let that go, despite the fact there have been so many World Cups since then, and we haven't won one of them.
It's another huge energy reading, and it's coming from someplace near the town. I don't know what's going on, fellas, but it sure looks like there's some big trouble brewing around Twilight Town.
I think the reason I've been thinking about these quiz shows so much lately is that I found that Millennium History Special. I posted it on Tumblr for safekeeping, and it was hosted by Angus Dayton.
No, Angus Dayton. That's a man who's not around as much nowadays as he was in the past, for reasons.
Yeah, he was. Well, the thing is, he was he was a presenter of Have I Got News for You for ages, and then he was found doing something. Was it cocaine, or was that?
He was doing cocaine off the belly of a prostitute.
Okay, so I just got a bit confused then, because I know there was at least one Blue Peter presenter who got kicked off.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean,
had yesterday.
my favourite Blue Peter presenter got kicked off because he was doing the drugs.
We gotta laugh every time we hear that dude's name.
What? He was your favourite Blue Peter presenter?
Yeah.
One more time.
Really?
But he had to leave, and on Blue Peter they were like, he's had to gone away for a little while. And I was like, yeah, he did drugs.
That's enough.
See, this is the problem. They're like, oh, he had to go away for a while, whereas it's like immediately after Blue Peter, News Round was just like, yeah, and Thingy-Majig was caught doing drugs.
Yeah, I bet about now even some of those high and mighty lionesses were wishing they'd gotten themselves a different king.
Gorge, what do you think could have happened?
Well, let's go find Simba and see.
That's the thing about News Round. It would not shy away from telling you shit like that. It wasn't all fluff pieces. There was some competent journalism there. Mostly done by children, but it was still very competent.
Simba about this.
I think John Craven wouldn't have allowed anything else.
Will this need a visit to Pride Rock where Sora deposes Simba and rules the Pride Lands with an iron paw?
Would that be bestiality, though?
Only if he bangs any of the lionesses, and I mean, he's a cub.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
the
think he'll
pride's
go for
gonna
it.
die out. He's not that young. He's got a mane.
Simba cares not if the Pride dies. They
He's
exist to serve,
he's like a
not
teenager.
survive.
He's jailbait.
No, he's about the same size that Simba was when he was the cub.
Yeah, but he's got a mane. He's just small.
You have a mane.
Which he kind of is, actually. Like, in real life, as a person, he's kind of small. He's just a short guy. Doesn't automatically mean he's young.
You don't look so good.
Hey, Simba.
I mean, no wonder Jack didn't want to go to clubs with you, because you're always like, oh no, Jack, you can't go in there. You are a 6-year-old, and he's just like, we're the same age.
To show him what you're really made of.
And you're like, you don't be foolish. If we were the same age, we would be the same height.
Screw you, I was a great wingman for Jack. I would be like, hello, have you met my friend, Jack? He is a tiny baby child. But even though he is small, he would like to have a drink with you, person. We would be like, and I would be like, I will take that as a sound rejection and deliver the crushing news to Jack.
See, there you go.
Hey Jack, she's not interested and she said you're ugly. Goodbye now.
Poor Carl's just like, no I didn't. I don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, you can do it.
You gotta live for today and find your own path.
Live for today and find my own path. Not my fault.
I know I'm making fun of Jack.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Simba.
You've been a terrible influence on me.
Promise me you'll help Simba any way you can.
As long as Sora handles the dangerous part.
I'm counting on you, Simba. And so is our baby.
Sorry, what's going on?
Scar's ghost has shown up. So they had to go beat up Scar's ghost.
Wait, they were fucking when you were gone? Damn, Cinder's a fast mover.
Be able to tell us something about that ghost.
Also, do they have lion pregnancy tests? How do you know you're pregnant? Also, don't lions usually have more than one cub at a time?
Well, we know that Simba only has Kiara. Because she gets together with the sexiest lion.
What, Fat Elvis lion?
No! They will destroy you.
There.
Actually, do we have
So,
a better...
as everyone knows, Mufasa's the sexiest lion because he's voiced by James Earl Jones.
You know, I never got the impression that that monkey's little hideaway was like right in Pride Rock.
It isn't. It's ages
Clearly
away.
it is.
It's not there. They moved it. Because as well as not understanding the plots, the motifs, and the interesting references in Disney films, apparently Nomura also doesn't understand their basic geography.
Oh, it's these guys.
The hyenas. Oh no, it's a bird fuckers.
I'm here. Take this.
How many times have they done this now?
3 times? Yeah, this will be the 3rd time they've done this. Fight a bunch of bird heartless set piece.
And how tired of it are we?
I was tired of it the first time.
Yeah, me too. These things aren't intimidating or scary or interesting. I mean, they're kind of cute, but... Although now I'm getting flashbacks to Timeless River and I really wish I was watching Cuphead Let's Plays. I mean, I'd say, oi, stream Cuphead, but there's no way in hell you'd ever be able to beat it. Also, you can't stream off your computer and it's not on PS4. Oh, I got, Lazy Game Reviews did a video where he played Cuphead on a black and white CRT from the 80s, and it looks so good. I wish they'd like patch it so they had like a new colour palette if you wanted to play it in black and white. That'd be so good. So good.
I'm here. It's over.
Is that heard the most horrid about the host of They Think It's All Over wanting to create a new sports program called something like Balls, and he had like this whole long little description of it, and it was like the title was Balls, and there'd be like balls all over the all different like footballs and rugby balls and that all over the title cards, and the theme song would be sung by Zoe Ball's dad. It has a name, but I don't remember what it is. And it was going to be his program, and he was going to present it, but then they were like, oh no, we'll give it to this veteran instead, so he commits murder most horrid. I think that was what that was. I pasted this when I looked that up. That's what today, the theme of today's Kingdom Hearts stream is, everybody. Has reminiscing about shit from the late 90s and early 2000s.
Can it not
Mostly
be?
involving quiz shows. Hey, I could talk about Langmarker, okay?
Well, because I never watched They Think It's All Over, and it's been ages since I watched Nevermind with Buzzcock, so I'm just sitting here going, yep, those were shows that were on.
No, I'm still looking up just to make sure it wasn't Murder Most Horrid, because then people can find it if they want to. Which they probably won't.
Jesus Christ, how many of these fucking birds are there? They don't seem to be even making a dent in their numbers.
Maybe that's not the point. No, it wasn't a Murder Most Horrid, because that was only Dawn French.
I see, I see.
It's gonna bother me if I don't figure it out. Oh no, he didn't murder him. Okay, no, it was just part of a mockumentary called The Outsiders.
No,
he just destroyed his career instead, or at least tried to. It came out in 1998, and I don't think I've seen it since. I am but a mortal woman. Are you still fighting these fucking birds?
Yeah. This is such obvious game padding. No, just fight like 1,000 fucking birds. Wait, no.
You don't even have a counter this time telling you how many you've fought. Oh, don't let them all come back. Oh, good. Oh, just like one left. Wait, what was that for? Did you even have to do that?
I think we had to do that. Apparently we had to go see Rafiki now. He's presumably in his hair cave. Where he lives.
Yep. He does at that. Are you trying to say that small things in this heaven and earth don't exist in your philosophy, Horatio? Because I think you're taking this old Hamlet with lion things a bit too literally. Although, can you imagine how much better the Lion King would have been if partway through it Simba put on a lion play about Scar putting poison in Mufasa's ear.
Ah yes, the great lion festing community.
Would have been amazing. Would have been so stupid.
Do you three know anything about Scar's ghost?
Huh? Scar's ghost?
Yeah, I'm saying maybe Nala's meant to be the Horatio. She's definitely not the Ophelia on account of not dying.
To be fair, like, a lot of people who died in Hamlet don't die here.
Yeah, but that's kind of Ophelia's thing, isn't it? Goes mad, drowns herself.
I mean, Hamlet's thing is kind of goes after revenge, dies. That Simba neither goes after revenge nor dies.
Yeah, this is still very much Hamlet with lions. Although you gotta, like, no wonder Scar has a thing against Mufasa. Apparently their parents didn't bother to give Scar a real name.
Yeah, well, his name is Taka, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
What the fuck does his brother call him Scar?
It's Scar picked that name for himself after getting a scar. Was like, I am not Taka anymore, I am Scar!
Okay, there is no way in hell I believe any lion voiced by Jeremy Irons goes, call me Scar, instead of call me my completely normal lion name.
I know, Taka does mean trash.
Jesus Christ!
Whereas Mufasa means, like, regal one or radiant one or something.
What the hell? I think fucking Scar deserves to go on the same panel of, bad guys as Hades. Dudes who got completely screwed over by their brothers and everybody takes their brother's side for some reason.
Yeah, Taka, it means trash or feces or this general disgusting, unwanted things.
Why? What the hell? Did Rafiki call him that? Although we knew this guy didn't have particularly good taste in names since he called Mufasa's son Lion.
Yeah, it's like radiant or regal one or king or something wonderful for Mufasa, then his son Lion and his brother Trash.
What is it with Disney and making these like story worlds where, like, if you look at it on face value, like, yes, this is a simple tale of good versus evil, but the second you put any scrutiny whatsoever, it stops making any sense, and the bad guys become the good guys. And the only time it doesn't is Cruella de Vil, mostly because she wants to kill puppies, and we've all agreed that killing puppies is a bad thing.
As opposed to Regicide, which was still a bit up in the air on, to be honest.
I'm sorry, we're British. We have a well-documented history of getting rid of monarchs we don't like. Besides, it's not like Mufasa wasn't putting the hyenas out into the awful bits of the region. Which he was.
Yeah. Yeah, he was making them go to the elephant fucking graveyard.
He was ghettoizing them. Look at the scavengers. Why not just let them eat your leftovers? They're hyenas. They're not going to fight you.
Oh no! Guess you caught us all.
What are we gonna do?
Tell me about Scar's ghost.
Sorry, we don't know nothing.
Oh, wait. It's coming back to me. That's the one that only hangs out around Frady cats. Right, Bonsai?
Enough!
There it is. Must be a Frady cat around here somewhere.
Simba, do something!
How does it feel to be king? Why, you must be a truly inspiring ruler by now. After all, you are the son of the
Simba,
great
do something! I don't know how to fight ghosts, Simba!
Where are you going?
Simba doesn't stand a ghost of a chance.
Simba!
Gorge, Rafiki was right.
You mean Simba's still unsure?
Seems like. Do you think there's some way we can help?
We should start by talking to Simba some more. Let's head back to the Pride Lands.
God, second visits to these worlds are just so much busy work.
Just don't understand why they didn't think of splitting these stories up at all.
Yeah.
And Mulan is the worst of them all! As we've said repeatedly. Have you thought about giving him some emotional support? You all do seem to be expecting a lot from the guy without giving him anything in return. I mean, he spent, like, his entire adolescence hiding in a jungle, eating bugs, being raised by a meerkat and a warthog. He was hardly raised for the monarchy, was he?
I feel like of all the busy work return to this place sections. This is the worst one.
What, 'cause it has those fucking birds in it?
Because it has those fucking birds, and then you have to do this ridiculous chase fight with the hyenas. And then they dump you at Pride Rock, and I'm like, okay, travel to the other end of the map.
You know, I'm starting to think Kingdom Hearts 2 might actually be a very badly designed game. I wonder if Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be like on par with this, and people are going to realise how bad the Kingdom Hearts series actually is.
I imagine Kingdom
finally
Hearts
have one in
3 will probably be quite good.
I don't know. I'm kind of expecting people to kind of not like it, but I'm betting that's mostly because they've nostalgia goggled Kingdom Hearts as a series, even though it's been pretty bad the entire time. Remember when you and a friend of ours were gonna play Kingdom Hearts 1 and I couldn't handle it. It made me feel sick. Yeah, it does feel like a lot of busy work. I mean, what else has this got? Fascinating gameplay? Not really. It's fun, but it's quite basic. A compelling story? Ha! Don't make me laugh. So why do you think it's going to be good? Glory asks.
Well, trailers have been promising, basically. Like, all of the gameplay we've seen so far in trailers has been pretty exciting.
Yeah, but those are trailers.
The worlds clearly have a lot more thought into them now.
It shouldn't have taken 3 games in the series. Sorry. It shouldn't have taken how many are we up to? 8?
Yes.
To get to that point. 2 should have been like that.
Father.
It seems even your daddy has abandoned you. How so?
Well, this sounds like the opening to a porno.
Yes, it does. It's just me waiting to see what you were talking about.
Either that or like a line Wolfie would pull out in a scenario where Jason's dating Demetrio or something and Demetrio's gone. It seems like your daddy has abandoned you. Jason, no.
Can you not imply it that I'm incestuous, please?
Yeah,
no, I meant like a
uncle.
daddy. I meant like a daddy dom. Jason's like, ew.
Repeatedly headbutting his neck.
Stop doing that. Poor Jason, his life is suffering.
Simba!
It's no use. I'll never be the king my father was.
But Simba, that's not what you're supposed to be. You can't be Mufasa. You can only be you.
You know, even though The Lion King does
believes in you as a
actually
king.
have
They
ghosts
just
in
want
it,
to see what you'll do. And if anyone's saying they liked your father
like,
better,
this still
it's
feels
because you
wrong
haven't done
somehow.
much yet. That's all.
Yeah.
I know that.
Then stop moping and do something.
I can't.
Fine.
Let's go, Sora.
Yeah. Why stick around if he's not even gonna try? Come on, Goofy.
You do realise this lion probably has post-traumatic stress disorder, right, Sora?
The king will one day lose all his friends.
He needs a lion psychiatrist.
Worried by a silly old ghost.
Ooh, Simba, the do-nothing king.
No!
Try and stop me.
Because this probably isn't coming through for you, since you don't have any sound. That wasn't the Scar Ghost saying that. That was Simba, Goofy, and Donald doing their impressions of the Scar Ghost and insulting Simba. Like assholes.
Wasn't so fortunate.
No, I thought it might be them saying it. It sounded like them.
I mean, everyone here and in the Pride Land wants me to succeed.
They're not. They're mocking
Sora,
you.
Donald and Goofy. Pumbaa, Timon, Rafiki.
Your father was the favourite son of parents who named one of their children
But my
shit.
father always has Scar lurking behind his back, trying to cut him down.
In fact, presumably, you're actually going to be a better king than your father because you haven't had child abuse and normalised as part of your existence. Of course he did.
Simba, come quick! There's a bazillion ghosts of Scar haunting the Pride Lands. Everybody but Nala hightailed it out of there, and now she needs your help. Our little Simba, all grown up and finding his place in the world.
Is this Maleficent's most pathetic
You're
plan?
coming too.
It might be.
We're here.
Where's Simba?
Everybody but Nala hightailed it out of there. That's our excuse and we're sticking to it.
I've come back, Nala.
Where did they go? No more questions.
Get out.
Now they could even be able to
go,
make
Simba.
Scar's character model like transparent. That was the easiest exorcism I've ever seen in my life. The power of Christ. Just get out. Okay.
Are you with me?
Now and forever, Your Majesty.
Jabbing myself with my needle. What the fuck? What is that?
It's a Heartless.
No, I can tell that much. What the hell is it supposed to be?
Large, mostly.
Why doesn't it look like a lion? It's made up of lions.
Maybe it's a lion.
It's not a lion though. It looks like a pinata. Why does this Heartless in Africa look so Mexican? That reminds me, I was watching a little mini documentary type thing about this fabric designer, and I was like, oh yeah, and then she started talking about her inspirations for this fabric line she was designing, and I was just like, oh god, Sheila, stop, please. Because it just seemed to be very exoticism-y, and I was just like, please don't. I hate this boss fight and I'm not even the one doing it.
It's large.
Makes me want to play a Zelda game. These Zelda games have good bosses, generally.
Actually, this does kind of remind me a little bit of the bosses against the Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild.
Really, because I started getting flashbacks to that fucking whale gorilla thing from Skyward Sword. Gotta hit that thing. What was it called? The Chained or something?
Oh, the Imprisoned.
That's the one. That thing cheats. Really, really efficient at it, and then it just shoots all the way up to the top anyway. What the fuck is this thing supposed to be?
What, this thing on the top?
Yeah.
Presumably some kind of masked monkey thing.
Why? Is this Rafiki's unfortunately named brother that we've never heard about before?
I mean, maybe.
think we should chat, or maybe just I should chat about something fun whilst this boss battle's going on.
Quite possibly.
I'm missing ideas. Somebody give me a topic. Really do hate that thing. This design just like the thing on the top, okay, if the entire thing looked like that it would be alright, but like I don't like this mobile part. Also, I don't like how it's constantly telling you where you need to attack because it's not being well telegraphed. Like, compare this to, any Zelda boss, or, those spider bastards from Akami.
Ah, yeah, the spider bastards.
Because there's more than one of them. When you do, like, certain things, like you... jump into a Star-Lord's skull with the spinner in the boss fight in Arbiter's Grounds, or you pull open the spider's flower back blossom thing. Like, you're not actually hurting it, you're allowing it to be hurt, but this fight seems to want to have it both ways. It wants to have, you have to do this in order to do damage, and have that thing cause it damage at the same time. So it has to tell you where you need to attack now instead of letting it be telegraphed naturally. And it just doesn't work. Not really. Like, whoever designed this boss fight just did a really bad job. Because if a tutorial that has to use words is not preferable to one that allows you to work out the gameplay naturally, then a boss fight that literally needs to tell you what to do is the worst, just the fucking worst. Why is it firing lightning at you? What the fuck's that got to do with anything? not only does this boss fight suck from a gameplay perspective and an immersion perspective, it just doesn't even work with basic logic.
No, why are you limit breaking off the edge?
I swear you weren't even facing in that direction. What the fuck, game? Maybe, like, this part of it would have made a decent boss fight on its own, but putting it on the back of this thing was just kind of pointless. Also, why is this thing voguing?
Strike a pose. Vogue.
Ladies with an attitude, fellas that is in the mood. No. But importantly, strike a pose, there's nothing to it.
Simba seems fine now.
Ha! The king has returned. The Pride Lands will not forget King Simba's courage, or the courage of those who fought beside him.
Yeah, because there's no way to get better way to get over your post-traumatic stress disorder than fighting a giant heartless.
As long as the Keyblade stays with me, I'll have to keep fighting.
Ah, the struggle never ends.
Nakamura has his way.
That is the great circle of life.
Never ever?
The secret to victory is a strong heart. Go then. Go on, get out. Yes, it is time. Your fight.
I'm taking advice from a guy who hasn't even fully evolved bipedalism yet.
Till we meet again, Your Majesty.
I hope that's soon.
He's not using that staff because he's old. He's using it because he doesn't know how to stand up properly. Now I'm just imagining that Rafiki went on like a journey when he was younger and he saw like a human shaman and just like modelled his entire personality after that one guy.
Well, it's time for the main event.
Atlantica.
Yes. Atlantica.
Yay!
Hey, Ariel, don't you have legs now? Weird.
No, she doesn't. She wasn't given legs at the end of the last episode. You're assuming she was, because that's what happens at the end of the movie.
I
would like it if when you said to Sebastian, wait, I have butterflies, his immediate response was, you have what? Yeah, it does sound a bit weird the way Sora's just like, will I ever stop fighting? And simultaneously he's just like, lol, kill Jamal. At the end of the last episode of the Atlantica section, still can't believe there's 2 Dukes of Soul, made it seem like Prince Eric was totally fine with her being a mermaid.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you didn't get to do Kiss the Girl. I can't believe Ariel didn't try and kiss Eric. Wouldn't that be the natural solution to this problem? You kiss him?
Ariel, I'm so happy for you. Yes, happy endings are so rare and so few.
We were glad to help and very proud is true. Seeing how we made you groove makes us wonder if you any other friends of yours that might be waiting in the wings.
I mean, Ursula did just say true love's kiss or whatever. She didn't say, like, he had to be the one to instigate it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's in the fine print on that contract, and there's no guarantee that Ariel will actually never fucking read. Doesn't seem to figure out what fucking fork is. Do you not use utensils? How do you eat? I mean, I understand the concept that, like, you don't have to worry about your food being too hot to pick up, because you're underwater and you wouldn't have hot food anyway, but, although you might, actually, depending if there's, like, a hot springy thing nearby. But, like, your hands might still get dirty. Actually, Ariel, what do you eat?
Algae.
Well, we know that they don't eat the fish, otherwise why would they be upset over the humans eating the fish? But they don't have vegetables either. And mermaids filter feeders.
Sora, what's happening?
A new pathway is open.
What? You gonna go? This is goodbye?
I won't do it. We'll never say goodbye.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Even though we're hitting the road, our worlds are all connected. Which means we are free to come and go.
This isn't goodbye, it's just farewell.
Always know we'll come back soon to say hello.
Wait, I thought you weren't meant to tell them that. What are the rules on this?
Wait a sec. I thought everything was supposed to be under control here.
I'd forgotten there was a second visit to Tron's world. We might actually not finish Kingdom Hearts 2 this time.
We better go see Leon.
We'll see how long Tron's world takes. Hey Cloud, bye Cloud.
I need to stop streaming again.
While we are beating up these incredibly generic cyber heartless, ponder when you think you might do so again. And then...
How about Saturday?
Saturday works for me. I don't have aught on.
Good.
You think of doing Dragon Age or Horizon Zero Dawn?
I do some more Dragon Age.
Dragon Age is a shit of the time.
I mean, I can self-justify talking about my fix while I'm playing Dragon Age.
Yes. And I can talk about my fix on Dragon Age, although I really shouldn't because none of them are Dragon Age fix.
The question is, do I talk about my Nano on Dragon Age streams? Because it's Dragon Age related.
I heard that the brother of the guy who went on that shooting spree was... like, he said he was surprised and couldn't imagine it. Which sounds fake, but okay.
I heard the same thing from the guy's girlfriend.
Yeah, which also sounds fake, but okay.
He went on over to Ansom's study to find out what all the ruckus was about.
I mean, she mentioned that he sent her a bunch of money and asked her to go visit her parents, so she must have figured something was up.
Yeah, but mass murder something?
Well, yeah, I realise that's not what you'd immediately jump to.
Turns out the MCP is using the data in that computer to crank out Heartless.
Man, I can't believe I shipped Cloud and Squall all these years. Clearly the true OTP is Squall and fucking Tron.
Yes.
The MCP's been messing around with the town's control system, too.
Wait, I thought you dealt with the Master Control program.
Apparently not.
That MCP sure doesn't know when to quit, does it?
How do you know what you're typing? Those buttons don't even have like letters on them.
That is weird, yeah.
I've heard nothing about this.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing of too that I've not been keeping up with the coverage. That's a really weird thing to... Like, the press doesn't like him because he killed a bunch of people.
Do we have a motive?
No.
Yeah.
Not at present.
For some reason, I really want to rewatch Cry's Clock Tower 3 Let's Play.
That was a good Let's Play.
Oh no, I know why. Because your healing thing is little clovers, and that's what her necklace is. I literally saw a post by an American complaining that Europeans act like we think we're all so much better than them because we don't have guns, and yet we have acid attacks, and you're like, yeah, but...
A, acid attacks are terrible, but less immediately fatal, and B, so do you Americans.
Besides, as a British person, I don't think I'm better than them because we don't have guns. I think we're better than them because when we had the last mass shooting at a school, that's when we banned them.
Yes.
It only took like one, and we all were like, yeah, better put a stop to this shit.
Riding on my skateboard.
I heard that he was he'd made plans to escape.
Yeah.
Nah, that sounds weird to me. Maybe it's just I'm so used to these things ending with a suicide. Do you, Aerith? Really? Did he just glare him into submission despite having absolutely no proven interest or skill with computers and or fighting things.
Yeah, basically. That is the long and short of it.
We'll be there soon, Tron.
Sorry.
Gorge, hope Tron's okay.
Me too. Let's head for the game grid. Great! The terminal works!
Let's go!
Finished? Would be, if it weren't for the old loon's magic.
Old loon, you say?
I'm trying to work here.
I'll show you who's old.
Done!
You are quite old, Merlin.
There you go, Leon. One homemade program. A Looney Wizard special.
Okay, now I ship Merlin and Sid just because I like arguing
This
people.
had better work. I'm off. Be on your guard.
Yeah, go and save your boyfriend. Leon.
Hold on! Light! Give me strength! Yeah!
The first time I've ever done that Trinity Limit thing, it was not that impressive.
No. No, it isn't.
Theresa May had an absolutely disastrous speech in which a comedian turned up and handed her a P45, and also she had a cold, so she was coughing and spluttering throughout.
Didn't she say, we're going to be A country that makes things and then the letter F fell off. And then the letter E fell off afterwards. I also heard you might have plagiarised some of it from the West Wing.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse. Apparently some ministers are saying that this basically spells the end for her. Like, there was the Terodor election and Hillsdra in short order, and it really would only take one more thing to oust her, and this was it.
I reckon we'll ever have a woman Prime Minister who isn't awful.
I hope so.
I'm just thinking about how fucked the country is again.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if I was May, and they were genuinely going to try and oust me, do you know what my parting shot would be?
Almost there.
What?
Doing literally everything I can to stop Brexit dead in its tracks.
Yeah, same.
Running executable.
I read this opinion piece, which has just made it very clear how fucking bullshit the whole referendum thing was. Because only like 27% of the entire population voted for it.
Yeah.
This is the most pathetic number I've ever heard in my life.
Thank God for Donald there.
Now I've got to be careful when I put this next piece into this block, because I want to get the orientation correct.
Speaking of, a new series of The Apprentice started yesterday, and there are a bunch of tossers as usual, but man, I feel like I have so little patience for apprentice candidates anymore because they're all so rich and they're so obsessed with their richness. Like there was one person who was like, some people may say it's good that I'm earning 150,000 a year, but I want to be earning 5 times that, 10 times that. Like, why?
Are you planning to donate most of that to charity?
Yeah, like, you're not gaining anything.
Yeah, you stopped getting any real returns on your, like, in real terms, returns on your, wage increases after about, was it 40,000?
Yeah.
If they've done studies, after, like, a shockingly low amount of money, you don't get anything. Like, your standard of living does not substantially improve after a certain point.
Yeah, like,
and it's not even a particularly high number.
Their obsession with money is essentially equivalent to that time when I was obsessed with getting a Tetris high score. Luckily, I broke that obsession. Once I got 198, I stopped feeling like playing Tetris anymore.
You said that before.
I've been clean for like a week.
Leon, let me try.
This is your final warning. Stop at once.
Bon appetit.
No, the Alan Sugar one. The original
the
UK
UK
version.
one.
Yeah.
Oh wait, was the UK version the first one? I thought it was the American one.
No, the UK version came first.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's luckily not Donald Trump, it's Lord Sugar. Well, I imagine must also be quite frustrated with these very rich kids.
He's from a working class background, isn't he?
Yeah.
Or at least something normal.
Yeah, he's a working class son of immigrants. Started off selling televisions out of the back of a van.
Yeah, he's a Labour supporter, isn't he?
Yeah. One of his advisors, Karen, she is a Tory baroness, which makes me uncomfortable, even though I do quite like Karen.
Very strange. Huh? There's a power booster for me. And flight routines for the solar sailor.
Meaning, we're set?
Well, like you users say, we won't know till we give it a try. We'll need a sailor to reach the MCP, so let's get to the simulation hangar.
I love how over time the quality of the apprentice candidates has gone down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure when the apprentice started, it was like an actual apprenticeship.
Yeah, it was telling that after a while, The Apprentice UK changed it from getting a job in Lord Sugar's company to getting a $250,000 investment from him in exchange for 50% share in their business, because it means he doesn't have to actually fucking work with them.
Now, I'm pretty sure the first guy who won was that guy.
Don't know.
I remember seeing this dapper young black man who won The Apprentice and had worked with Lord Sugar. And like, he was a good guy. I don't know if he was the first winner or somebody else though. Maybe the second or third. Yeah, but like, he seemed competent. But some of the people we've had on lately, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like, the BBC seem to eventually realise that people who are shit at business get better ratings.
Keep a lookout. The MCP isn't going to just let us waltz in.
What is this fresh hell?
Running executable.
I want to see Tron and Squall interact now.
Access approved.
I just imagine Squall pulling like a Jenny and just being like, "Heart eyes, motherfucker," all of the time. Oh, are you trying to stop it from crashing?
Yeah.
He doesn't realise this is a computer program and none of these things actually have weight, right? Might want to heal. There we go. This is the worst kind of backseat gaming. I mean, I'm not even like up to date with what's going on, and I'm still telling him what to do. Do you reckon, like, when self-driving cars are more of a thing and AI becomes self-aware, they're just going to like be annoyed at humans backseat driving?
Probably, yeah. Fucking anti-form.
I gotta say, anti-form looks pretty cool in this one.
Yeah, actually, it's
Especially the little portrait.
Running executable. Access approved. Back off.
The simultaneous problem that the skin on my elbows is quite dry, and I grazed it the other day when I fell over.
Time to
It's
settle
really
Ow.
down for good.
Yeah, I think my ankle actually still has like a wound on it from that. Yeah.
Stigmata.
No, it's just a little cut.
Stigmata.
Okay. Who was that?
Sark, the MCP's number 2.
Tenacious little bugs. Your time is up. Prepare for de-resolution.
Running executable. Access approved. Back off.
Data transfer. Give up. Data transfer.
Apparently somewhere's already done their Christmas lights, which is just like, that's really pathetic. It hasn't even been Halloween yet.
Yeah.
Data transfer. Give up. Data transfer.
Wizard really should have been careful, because it looks like their wish is coming true.
Give up. Data transfer.
Yeah.
Give up. Give up. Data transfer. very persistent, Tron.
I'm also better than you.
We would have made a great team.
I'm also better than you.
Yes.
Now for the MCP.
Was something that's like a response Co would give if someone said you're very persistent.
Don't you understand? We don't.
Did he just stone cold kill that guy?
Yeah. Does seem that way.
Be a part of me, and together the world will be ours to control.
MCP. You still don't get it, do you?
NCP, you still don't get it, do you? I'm gonna bone one of them one day. It's gonna have a physical form. That ass is mine. God, that thing really is ugly. It looks like a Zordon on a bad day. It just made it bigger! Whack him in the ankles! There's nothing intimidating about whacking something in the ankles!
Oh, Death Memory Dragon's Dogma, let's hear it. Itchy nose.
Ball sack. Or what it looks like, ball sack. You do you. You do you.
Back in the game. Running executable.
Thing is, he's grown bigger, but he hasn't like grown intimidatingly big.
Yeah, you're hitting him in the ankles. That's exactly the problem. If you were hitting him in like the side of the foot, that would be intimidating.
Back in the game. Running executable.
restored. Data error detected.
Is that the best a user can do?
Where's that gap we made?
Is that the best a user can do?
Back in the game. Running executable.
Just probably have to find that TV mockumentary, The Outsiders. That would have been fun to review.
Corrupt data restored. Give me strength. Data error detected.
Eliminate all threats. Is that the best a user can do? Eliminate all threats. Is that the best a user can do?
Thank you for going somewhere.
Eliminate all threats.
Yeah.
Hold still, you asshole! This boss fight has become... It was kind of interesting at first, but now it's become really, really monotonous.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just actually wish I could fight Morpheal right now. Morpheal was a fun boss. Twilight Princess just has some good bosses in it.
Is that the best a user can do? Eliminate all threats.
Run! Running executable.
Nah, I'm just remembering Zant now. Do you remember when he went from dark, intimidating, silent, terrifying guy to Magima?
Yeah.
That was one of the best, like, transitions in video games, I swear. It was just, I was completely not expecting it. Wait, whose side are those white things on?
They're ours. We create them with Transmimic Quake.
Oh, okay. Wait, do each of his ankles have their own HP bars?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I love it.
best a user can do.
Running executable.
I think it's stopping right behind you because you keep going in one direction. You're just constantly just past, like it's just to the left. I can see it. So, how's the weather in Denmark?
What? Oh, we couldn't.
Is that the best a user can do? Eliminate all threats.
Here we go.
But you couldn't do it because you were in a droid form.
Yeah, we'd absorbed Tron.
Don't seem to have much of a chance to avoid being hit by those lasers when it comes down after you attack.
No.
To me, that's bad boss design. Like, when it comes to video games, you should be able to get through a boss or a level without getting hurt. The game should be programmed in such a way to allow you to do that if you're good enough.
Running executable.
I mean, I'm never going to be good enough, but that's not the point.
Yeah. Like saying,
Other
I'm never
people
going to
should
be
be
good
able to do
enough.
it.
Is that the best a user can do? Eliminate all threats.
Back in the game. Running executable.
I really want Cuphead, but I know I'll never be able to beat it on regular difficulty because I suck.
Chloe, the weather. She was asking how the weather is in Denmark.
Do I need to start using my outdoor voice? Okay. Hang on, I'm gonna put it in the chat since the game seems to have like a vendetta against meteorology.
Back in the game.
That master control program is starting to freak me out a bit. The way it stares. Yeah, stormy and rainy. Been alright here. How's it where you are, bruv?
It's fine. A bit grey and dingy.
Yeah, pretty standard, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Isn't it though?
Isn't it?
Wow, breaking windows. Well, almost worried about it. I know what you mean, and you know what I mean, and that's the important thing. Even though I'm barely speaking English.
Eliminate all threats. Is that the best a user can do?
Thank you, sir. Going somewhere?
Eliminate all threats. Is that the best a user can
God, I'm bored of this fight.
Same.
Back in the game. Running
There we go.
Thank God! This is not a good boss fight. I mean, it was kind of at first, but the fact that it dragged on for so long.
Yeah.
We did it!
I see Tron has a silly side too.
I learned it from you. Of course, I do have my silly limits.
Okay, then I'll tweak your program when I get back to the user world.
You? Maybe we better not try.
Oh, Tron, you're adorable.
Aw, how about it, guys? Singing Tron, dancing Tron. Sound good?
Don't tweak it. Don't fuck with his personality, Sora. That's creepy.
Sora?
Maybe I should brainwash you once you're in no position to prevent me.
All the users out there. Thank you. You really helped me. You made me so much stronger. You taught me what friendship is truly all about. And I'll never forget it.
Perhaps the real brainwashers were the friends we made along the way.
MCP and free the system. Isn't this what users do when they're sorry to say goodbye?
It's a first for me.
Course, Tron, it's like a promise that we'll see each other again real soon.
Aw, Tron, you're adorbs.
I promise.
Where are you going?
Yeah, you really should have other people come visit him, or maybe make a new AI so he has someone to talk to.
Tron.
What are you...
Things are settling down in town. The only Heartless left anywhere are the local variety. And it looks like there are fewer than before.
Now if we can just get those 3 back in one piece. You're here!
Welcome back!
How's the town?
A-okay.
Not a single trace of the MCP either. Everything's back to normal. We made it.
Hey, why the long face? What happened?
Trump just disappeared.
And he promised we'd see him again.
What's happening?
Greetings, friends. System is up and ready for user input.
Tron!
Stay in
He
touch.
didn't disappear, he dived into a hole.
Yeah.
Hey, stop that. It tickles.
Tron is ticklish.
How about this?
Please stop that.
Oh god.
I think Tron's been hanging around those guys too much.
If Tron can feel things.
Wait, just a moment. I want to show you something I dug up from the system archives.
Oh god, who knows what the fuck Squall gets up to in this room.
Squall, why are the keys all sticky?
I was just having some ice cream.
But why is it salty? It was sea salt ice cream.
Why did you put it in your mouth?
That's right.
You said it was ice cream.
Yeah, but you didn't put it in your mouth after until you said it. You did that before I told you what it was.
Just like the old days.
I'd be fascinated to ascertain as to when the town got such a dreadful name as Hollow Bastion.
You know, this town had another name once. Radiant Garden.
Okay. We've been at this for 3 hours, so we probably don't have time to do the final world.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be its
So-
own stream, methinks.
Yeah, so we'll leave it there for today. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you then.
Remember, I've got a stream.
Dragon Age Inquisition stream coming up on Saturday, so look forward to that. Be there or be Square Enix.